expect when you sit down to watch a movie? Excitement? Intrigue? An engaging plot? Most people consider movies entertainment, and they expect their entertainment to be, well, entertaining. So, what would you think of a movie that makes no effort to entertain you at all? Welcome to the world of avant-garde, a form of cinema that makes no attempt to entertain you. In fact, it often tries to frustrate, challenge, even bore the heck out of you. For example, let's take a look at Jean Dielman 23 Croix du Commerce 1080 Brussels, a Belgian art film that explores 3 days in the life of a single mother and the tasks that she carries out in real time. With minimal cuts in camera movement, no music, and mostly taking place in silence, we are treated to scenes such as a 12-minute unbroken shot of Jean preparing a meatloaf. To capture the excruciating monotony of domesticity, this film carries on for an excruciating 3 hours and 21 minutes. Or Wavelength, a 1967 film by Canadian artist Michael Snow. During the course of its 43-minute runtime, the camera slowly closes in on a painting on the other side of a New York City studio. Though brief activity may be heard off camera, we never actually get to see what's taking place. We're teased with the idea of a plot, but it never comes, and we're forced to watch an empty room instead of the excitement. If avant-garde sounds incredibly boring and frustrating to you, you aren't alone. Most people struggle with avant-garde. After all, we expect films to take us on a journey, and when that journey goes seemingly nowhere, you can feel angry, frustrated, even betrayed. So, what's the point of avant-garde? Do filmmakers just want to irritate the audience? Well, let's explore this a little more. Traditional films speak in a visual language that the audience interprets through a variety of essential filmmaking strategies to get its point across, such as music to denote the mood or scene,
From the first time I kissed you, anyone could tell I'd got
camera movement to draw your attention to something, juxtaposition of shots, and much more. Studies, such as the Kuleshov effect, have discovered that people are very, very good at putting together what the filmmaker is trying to say with these techniques. Same thing with many other forms of symbolism in art. There is an unspoken social contract between the artist and the observer. The artist's job is to tell us what to feel, and our job is to just feel it. Avant-garde challenges this dynamic. Originating in the 1850s, avant-garde is a form of experimental art that recognizes traditional rules and strategies of its medium and intentionally breaks them. In cinema, it challenges the standards and expectations of traditional filmmaking, in which the filmmaker is the storyteller and the viewer is a passive observer. Avant-garde doesn't seek to tell a story. It seeks to create a unique experience using the medium of film so that the viewer can come to their own conclusions on what they feel, necessitating active engagement. When you've been used to traditional Hollywood your whole life, watching movies that come with instructions encoded for how to feel and think, you come to expect it. But avant-garde offers no instructions at all, so you are forced to critically engage with what you're watching. If you spend the whole movie waiting for instructions to come, you will absolutely be disappointed, bored, and frustrated, which is many people's experience. You cannot watch avant-garde the same way you watch other movies. It just doesn't work the same way. So, with avant-garde, you can't just kick back and enjoy the show. Instead, you're like a detective looking for the clues that the filmmaker has provided in the form of cinematic choices that they've made, and drawing your own conclusions based on your discoveries. But if you're not used to active viewership, you may not know what to do or even where to begin. So here are some questions to help you get started. Firstly, put your expectations aside. Understand that you're not going to be told a story. The goal is to have an experience, not find a message. Don't bore yourself by looking for a narrative that's never going to come. Secondly, consider what sensations the film creates. Do you feel anxious, dizzy, relaxed, trance-like? Sometimes avant-garde is all about experiencing the environment that a film creates, not meaning, just feeling. Finally, think about what you're watching. Remember that avant-garde is built on the concept of subverting expectations, so consider what expectations you have that the film may be choosing to break. What are you seeing and hearing, and what are you not seeing and hearing that you would like to? What is the film missing that you expected it to have? What could the film have done to make you feel more comfortable that it chose not to do? And think about why it would choose to make you feel uncomfortable. Let your mind wander. This is a safe space for that to happen. Most movies are carefully designed to prompt specific thoughts and emotions, but the purpose of avant-garde is to create opportunities for you to create thoughts and emotions of your own. The goal is not enjoyment, but it can create wonderful, enjoyable experiences. Let's end on my favorite avant-garde film, the revolutionary Line Describing a Cone. Over the course of half an hour, a curved line is slowly drawn on the screen, making the shape of a circle. There is no sound, no visual effects, and any attempts to watch the show on a television or computer screen waiting for something to happen would be uneventful. No message ever occurs. However, let's consider the way the film was originally watched. In the 70s, this film would have been shown on a projector in a smoky, dusty, dark theater full of artists and cinema enthusiasts. With a pitch-black background and the striking bright white of the line, something magical happens when this movie is played on a projector. As the film progresses, you start to see the light of the projector reaching to the screen is creating the shape of a cone. A cute, simple realization. But in the smoke, the light picks up the dust and swirling smoke particles in the air, and over the next 30 minutes, your attention moves from the screen to the space above you. The cone turns the light into a physical figure in the room with you, and miraculously, cinema becomes a tangible thing that you can reach out and touch. The film has no story, no sound, and no message. It doesn't seek to make you feel a particular way or communicate a thought. It's simply a unique and beautiful experience that expands your definition of what cinema is and what it can do. And that's the magic of avant-garde.